Hello students, I am Samir and today we are going to continue our NCERT class 10 chapter 1 real numbers. This is the part 2 of the chapter, and before starting this video please watch the part 1 of this chapter. Now the topics that we are going to cover are revisiting irrational numbers and revisiting rational numbers and their decimal expansions. So the first topic, a number is called irrational if it is cannot be written in the form p by q where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So this is the definition of irrational number. An irrational number cannot be written in the form of p by q where q is not equal to 0 and p and q are integers. So examples are root 2, root 3, root 15. Any prime number, the square root of any prime number is always an irrational number. You can see pi is given here. Pi can be written as 22 by 7, but we write it 22 by 7 only so that it is easy for us to calculate the problems. The actual value of pi is not 22 by 7. Here some non-terminating and non-repeating example is also given here, as you can see on your screens. So such number is also a irrational number. Now the second thing is, we will prove that a prime number, the square root of prime number, is irrational. So we will use the fundamental theorem of arithmetic to prove that a prime number, square root of a prime number, is irrational. Now let us see this theorem. It says let p be a prime number if p divides a square, then p divides a, where a is a positive integer. So what is given here is p is a prime number and p divides a square, and we have to prove that p divides a. So now by fundamental theorem of arithmetic, a composite number can be expressed as the product of primes. So here we can express a into a product of prime which is unique. So if we square on the both sides, we get a square is equal to the square of the product of primes. So now p divides a square. So it means that p is somewhere in between this p1, p2 and so on till pn. So p is somewhere in between this range and it divides a square. Now we have to prove that p also divides a. So from the second part of fundamental theorem of arithmetic, which says that all composite numbers have a unique prime factors. So from that we can assume that a square has the same unique set of prime numbers same as a. So that means that the prime factors of a includes our prime number p. So that this concludes that a is divided by p. So now by using this theorem we are going to prove that root 2 is irrational. Now if you see at this theorem, actually this is an example. Root 2 is irrational. Not only root 2, any prime number, the square root of any prime number is irrational. So we can use the same technique to find out whether it is irrational or not. Any prime number is irrational or not. So now let us assume to the contrary, that root 2 is a rational number. So proof of contradiction, first we have to assume that root 2 is rational. It is not correct, but we have to assume that. This is called proof of contradiction. So now when root 2 is rational, it can be represented in the form of r by s, where s is not equal to 0. Further, we are removing any common factors. Then we get root 2 can be expressed in a by b, where a and b are coprimes and integers, and b is not equal to 0. By further simplifying, we get b into root 2 is equal to a. Squaring on both sides, we get 2b square is equal to a square. Now 2 divides a square, as we have seen in theorem that we discussed above. 2 must also divide a. If 2 divides a square, 2 will divide a. So now let us take a is equal to 2c for some integer c. Now when we are substituting that value of a, we get 2b square is equal to 4c square. Now again, by further simplification, we get b square is equal to 2c. That means 2 is dividing b square, so 2 will also divide b by using the above theorem. Now here a and b have at least 2 as a common factor, but in the previous slide we have assumed that a and b are coprimes. So how can this be true if a and b are coprimes? Coprimes are the numbers which only have 1 as a common factor, but here 2 is also a common factor, so this contradiction comes. And then this contradiction has come because we have assumed that root 2 was rational, which is clearly incorrect. So we conclude that root 2 is irrational number. Now let us see one more example based on this theorem. 5 minus root 3 is irrational. Now let us assume to the contrary that 5 minus root 3 is rational. Proof of contradiction has been used here, and we are assuming that 5 minus root 3 is rational. Now by further simplification, we get 5 minus a by b is equal to root 3. So now if you see, 5 minus a by b is clearly a rational number. So root 3 should also be a rational number. But root 3 is irrational. As we know, root 3 is irrational, and we have already proved this in the previous slide. So this contradiction has arisen because of our incorrect assumption that 5 minus root 3 is rational. So we conclude that 5 minus root 3 is irrational. So now these are some practice questions. Pause the video and note down if you want. Now coming to the second topic, revisiting rational numbers and their decimal expansions. So let us recall, rational numbers are numbers which can be written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So that is rational numbers. Rational numbers have either terminating decimal expansion or a non-terminating but repeating decimal expansion. Unlike irrational number, which always non-terminating and non-repeating. So in this section we are going to consider a rational number, and we are going to explore exactly when the decimal expansion is terminating and when it is non-terminating and repeating. So let us first consider this example. 4 numbers are given here, and all 4 numbers are a terminating decimal expansion. So as you can see, all the options here are not continuing after some time. Let us see the first option, 0.375, and after that no continuation is there. Let us see option 3, 0.80875. After that no continuation is there. So these are rational numbers which are terminating rational numbers. Now let us see another theorem. Let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. So all the above examples that we have seen is terminating rational numbers. So let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Then x can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are coprimes and the prime factorization of q is 2 power n and into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. So what we understand from this theorem is that A terminating decimal expansion can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are coprimes and Q can be represented into the powers of 2 and 5, where the powers of 2 and 5 are non-negative. So as you can see here in the examples given below the theorem, 0.375 can be expressed as 375 by 10 to the power 3. That can again be expressed as 2 to the power 3 and 5 to the power 3, which is what our theorem says. Again, if you look at the second example, 2 to the power 3, 5 to the power 3. Third example, 2 to the power 4, 5 into 5. Fourth example, 5 to the power 4 and 2 to the power 0. So this proves that a rational number that has a decimal expansion which terminates can be expressed in the given form. So now coming to the another theorem. This is the reverse of the previous theorem. Let x be p by q, a rational number such that prime factorization of q is of the form 2 power n and into 5 power m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which terminates. So same thing, but this is the opposite of the previous theorem. If you see, 3 by 8 can be written as 375 by 10 power 3, which if you calculate further gives us a terminating decimal. So again, if you see second option, 13 by 125 can be written as 13 into 2 cube by 2 cube into 5 cube, which is the given format in the theorem. So if you see other examples also, same thing has been followed. So now coming to the last theorem of this video. It says let x is equal to p by q, where p and q are coprimes. Be a rational number. So x be a rational number such that prime factorization of q is not of the form 2 power n into 5 power m, where again n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which is not terminating, which is non-terminating, and which is repeating. So here, as you can see, the theorem is given. Simply it tells that a rational number which has the denominator of the form 2 power n into 5 power m is a decimal expansion which is non-terminating and repeating. So to prove this, we have here 1 divided by 7. So 1 divided by 7, when we calculate it further and further, we get these numbers as quotients, and all these numbers, the circled ones, are the reminders. Now as you can see, the numbers after some times repeat. So here 3 is there, again 3 is repeating here. On the top also the quotient also repeats itself. Here 1 is there and again 1 is there. It will continue like this. So it is non-terminating and non-repeating. So with this example you can understand that the 1 by 7 is of the form p by q and q is not equal to 0. 7 cannot be factorized in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, so that now as we can see the reminders are 3, 2, 6, 4, so on and repeating, and their quotient is also repeating, and the reminder is never 0, so this division will never stop. So this proves that p by q, where q is the form of 2 power n 5 power m, cannot be a terminating decimal expansion. It has to be a non-terminating, repeating, recurring decimal expansion. So now these are some practice questions. pause the video and note down again some other questions. So thank you for watching, students. I hope you understood this chapter.